that sounds good. Oh yeah, what you're about to hear is powered by the men of the square table, who want you to know that the garage fridge is for beer only. Duh. Miller Lite. Good call.
From Los Angeles, it's the Tom Leykis Show.
Oh, God.
And now, here he is, Tom Leykis.
Thank you for tuning in to the Tom Leykis Show. This is where America gets together to talk about the issues you really care about. It's a different kind of a radio talk program. We're the radio talk show that is not hosted by a right-wing wacko or a convicted felon. No. I am your host. Write down our toll-free telephone number. You're going to need it. It's 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866. And, you know, sometime today, a random caller is going to win $500 and a pair of tickets to the Bunny Ball. That's the annual Bunny Ball we hold at the Playboy Mansion, courtesy of National Lampoon's Van Wilder, The Rise of Taj. They're getting wild, they're getting even, and they just might get lucky. National Lampoon's Van Wilder, The Rise of Taj, opens this Friday. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being part of our program. Here we are together again on the radio. I hate to ruin your day. This information might ruin your day. Might burst your bubble, might make you angry. And many of you will disagree with it regardless of the fact that it involves a university study. Many times I will tell you about a statistical fact or a scientific research study that has results that may surprise you or may prove something we've said on the air before. In this case, it proves things I've said on the air, but it will not make you happy if you're in a particular, you're in a particular income level. Let's put it that way. Let me read this story to you. This comes from the Fox News website. Dateline New York, does money buy happiness? It's sometimes said that scientists have found no relationship between money and happiness. But University of Illinois psychologist Ed Diener says that's a myth. The connection is complex, he says. But in fact, very rich people rate substantially higher in satisfaction with life than very poor people do, even within wealthy nations, he says. Economist Andrew Oswald of the University of Warwick in England says there is overwhelming evidence that money buys happiness. The main debate, he said, is how strong the effect is. Oswald recently reported a study of Brits who won between $2,000 and $250,000 in a lottery. As a group, they showed a boost in happiness averaging a bit more than 1 point on a 36-point scale when surveyed 2 years after their win, compared to their levels 2 years before they won. Daniel Kahneman, a Nobel Prize winner and Princeton economist, and colleagues recently declared that the notion that making a lot of money will produce overall good mood is, quote, mostly illusory. They noted that in one study, people with household incomes of $90,000 or more were only slightly more likely to call themselves, quote, very happy overall than were people from households making $50,000 to $89,999. The rates were 43% versus 42%, respectively. Members of the high-income group, though, were almost twice as likely to call themselves very happy as people from households with incomes below $20,000. But other studies, rather than asking for a summary estimate of happiness, follow people through the day and repeatedly record their feelings. These studies show less effective income on happiness, Kahneman and colleagues said. But there is still another twist to the money and happiness story. Even though people who make $150,000 a year are considerably happier than those who make $40,000, it's not clear why, according to psychologist Richard E. Leykis of Michigan State University. Does money make you happier? Or does being happier in the first place allow you to earn more money later, maybe by way of greater creativity or energy? Or does some other factor produce both money and happiness? Leykis says there's evidence for all three interpretations. In any case, researchers say any effect of money on happiness is smaller than most daydreamers assume. Oswald said people exaggerate how much happiness is bought by an extra few thousand. The quality of relationships has a far bigger effect than large rises in salary. Oswald said it's much better advice if you're looking for happiness in life to try to find the right husband or wife rather than trying to double your salary. Well. In all that mumbo-jumbo, the bottom line here is if you make a lot more money, you're a lot happier than somebody who makes a lot less money. That's in there. That's it. That's what it says. That's what the research says. Yes, if you make $45,000 a year and you get bumped up to $50,000 a year, it's not going to make much difference. But the guy making $150,000 a year, it says it right in there, is a hell of a lot happier than the guy making $20,000 or less. People who don't have money love saying that money can't buy you happiness. But they are wrong. Now, I've been rich and I've been poor. I've been both. I grew up dirt poor, and now I am a multimillionaire. So I've seen it from both ends, and I'm going to tell you why money makes you happier. And it isn't the reason you think. It's not because you can buy any car you want or go anywhere you want. It's not because you can buy the biggest house. I'm going to tell you what it is, because I know what it's like to be poor, and I know what it's like to be a hard-working poor person. I was that for years. The difference is that you do not have to put up with crap from your boss. You don't have to put up with the pressure. I can retire today. I can retire today. I am not here because I have to be here. I am not here because I need to squeeze out the last $20 to pay the mortgage. I'm not here because I need to pay for the health insurance or the earthquake insurance. That's all taken care of. I figured it out. I did a little actuarial work on myself. I actually figured it out. I could retire today and live my current lifestyle until I'm 75 years old. As of today, without walking out of the house, I could stay home and live until 75, living the current level of lifestyle with traveling and wine and a big house and all the goodies that I have today. I can quit today. If they decided to blow me out of here for some reason, it wouldn't matter. I could survive. Not just survive. I could survive at my current standard of living. That is why I am happier than many people who listen to this show. Because when I was poor, I was always worried, what if I couldn't pay the rent? What if I got thrown out or evicted? What if they turned the lights out? I used to get those pink or red final notices from the electric company, the gas company. I paid late fees. I just didn't have the money to pay. Every day I came home hoping the lights were on. That's how bad it got at one point in my life. I'm happy not because I can drive any car I want. I'm happy because I do not have to work. I'm happy because if anybody tries to tell me what to do, I can say F you and just do whatever I want and never worry about it for the rest of my life. You can't tell me that's not going to make somebody happier. I'm talking to many people on the way home from lousy jobs they hate, bosses who stink. I'm talking to people right now who wonder how they're going to afford a Christmas tree, much less stuff to put under the Christmas tree. I'm talking to people who are racking up big bills, heading to the mall right now, going shopping for Christmas. And you're figuring, I'll just put it on the plastic and worry about it later. And then later in January and February, when the bills start coming in, you're going to start having heartburn. How are you going to pay for all this? The reason people with money are happier than people without is because they don't have to take crap from the man. They don't. I mean, does anybody out there believe money can't buy you at least some level of happiness?
1-800-5800.
I'm taking this very seriously.
Okay.
It's the Tom Leykis Show.
The Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. Get money buy you happiness? Are people with money happier than people without? I say yes. Absolutely. Don't kid yourself. Don't lie to yourself. It's Jack on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom. I've been a big fan of yours since you were on AM in Los Angeles. But I have to disagree with you. You're equating fun with happiness.
What? How so?
Well, everything you always talk about, all the things that you've done, that doesn't bring you happiness. It's a lot of fun.
Wait, the things I described in the beginning had nothing to do with fun at all. I didn't talk about traveling. I didn't talk about owning big cars. I didn't talk about owning big houses.
About traveling and
no, what I said, no. You didn't hear what I said. What I said was that what makes me happy having money is the ability to say F you to the boss and being able to retire.
You don't know what happy is. Happy, my friend.
No, you don't know what happy is.
Happy is having your baby in your arms, watching your baby grow up. And everybody knows in these terms, you're pathetic. You're hapless.
So if people don't have children, they are unhappy.
No. See, I've done everything you're doing, but you haven't done what these people have done.
I don't need to do it. I do not. Everybody does not need to have a child to be happy.
No, but to experience pure happiness, you haven't experienced it.
No, that is your opinion of what pure happiness is.
That's your opinion too. You think going and sitting on the floor of the Lakers games is going to bring you.
Hell, I never mentioned the Laker game or tickets to any sporting event. You can't. Are you deaf?
Oh,
are
no,
you
I'm
deaf?
Not deaf.
I said.
And fun.
I said. Now, you did not hear what I said. So I'm putting you on hold, and you are sentenced to listen to it again. I said that happiness is not owning big cars. It is not owning a big house. It is not owning anything. Happiness is not having to go to work. Happiness is not having to listen to the boss. Happiness is if you get sick, you can afford the best doctor. You can be in a private room. You can fly to the best clinic anywhere in the world. Happiness is not being a slave. That is happiness. You didn't hear a word I said. Not a word. I never said happiness is getting seats on the floor at the Laker game. Well, it's not bad, but I never said that that is true happiness. I never said that happiness is traveling and spending money like a drunken sailor. I said happiness is not having to answer to anybody. That is happiness. And then, moron, you hung up. Pussy. You didn't listen to a word I said at the beginning. That's fine. You're not required to. But you then proceed to completely misquote everything I said. I never said a word about having material possessions being what makes you happy. I said happiness is not being a slave to the man, not being a slave to your boss, not being a slave to your landlord, not having to answer to a landlord. That's happiness. Pal, you are dreaming if you think people with money aren't happier than people without. We are. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. JD on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi there. I love your show, Tom.
Thank you.
I've been listening to you for only about 3 months. I discovered you, but half the time I totally disagree with you. But
Yes.
that's okay.
Uh-huh.
But this time you're so right. Money does buy happiness. I have money. It's my own money. Well, it's my grandfather's money. I'm a trust fund baby. Although I'm not much of a baby, I'm 38 years old, but money buys happiness. And whoever says that it doesn't happen, they don't know where to shop. I have 2 kids. They're teenagers now. They're pains. Kids are cute when they're little, and then they grow up and they afford to you.
Uh-huh.
So I don't believe, that other guy, if I had it to do over again, I do love my children, but let me tell you, if I knew now what I knew then, I wouldn't be having them. And I was married to a very successful doctor in the area that got addicted to drugs, lost his license. I stuck through him until he got his license back, and then I dumped him, and I didn't get 1 cent out of him. I thought you'd be proud of me, Dad.
Of course, dear. I am proud of you.
Yes, and I totally agree. And I think it's not. I also agree with what you said about not having to answer to anybody or, worry about anybody. I personally don't work. I volunteer my time with animals here in Arizona. Can I give a plug?
What, for the University of Arizona?
No, I said I volunteer. I work with animals. Can I give a plug?
Yes.
Okay, please, everybody, save animals out there and send a few dollars to Missing Meds in Glendale, Arizona. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Janie, thank you.
Okay, it's nice to talk to you, Tom.
I know. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. And I'm still amazed at that first call. Jack, I'm amazed at that guy. He thinks it's all about whether you have seats at the Laker game, in which you're saying you're happy, but you're not truly happy, and having a baby. Outrageous. Can money buy you happiness? You bet. Tatiana, you're on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom.
Hey.
How are you?
Great.
Good. I've been listening to you for a couple of months now, and I actually agree with you this time. Listening to that guy, watching your baby grow up, whatnot, that's all great and dandy. But I've seen too many mothers with their babies, watching them grow up and not be able to feed them, not be able to, put a clothes on their backs. So, in a way, I think what you're saying, how money can buy happiness, is giving you that security that you're safe. You don't have to worry about how you're going to pay the bills tomorrow.
I know people who have to decide between food and heating oil.
Mm-hmm.
It's the wintertime, and they don't know how they're going to pay for the heating oil because the price of oil is so high.
I know, and I mean, in my...
Does anybody think I'm not happier than that person?
No, I had in my lifetime, I had a chance to live a very comfortable life. And then due to political situation in my country, we pretty much lost everything overnight. So I was in the situation when you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. You don't know if you'll be able to eat tomorrow. And then again, through hard work, education and everything, I'm doing well. I'm doing well again, and I can tell you I'm much happier. Yes, you need to be a well-rounded person. You need to have self-respect for yourself. You have to be happy with yourself in the first place, but it's much easier to do that when you are well-situated and secure as well. So I agree with you.
Thank you, Tatiana.
Bye-bye.
Appreciate the call. Brendan on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Tom, what's going on?
Not much.
You are so completely right. My dad's a multimillionaire, and he is so much more happier than me because I have a crummy piece of crap job that I have to make ends meet with. And the people who they're talking about have to be the people that were spoiled from day one and expect to have the same life all throughout life. But if you've been poor and you know what it's like, then you know you're way better off with money.
Of course you're way better off with money. And I'm just amazed how people without money love to say money can't buy you happiness. It's a big lie, so they can stand and get up every morning and drag their ass out of bed. They have to believe that myth.
Yeah, and the people that say more money, more problems are obviously, I guess, people without problems, because I guarantee they're the ones that don't have the money.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks a lot, Tom. I love your show. Take me out with a bong hit, and thank you, Jesus.
Here it is, Brendan.
Thank you, Jesus.
1-800-5800-TOM. Let's say hi here to Lindsay on the Tom Leykis show. Hello.
How are you?
Great.
I was just calling because I agree with you, but I just think what you mean is that money makes things easier. It might not buy you happiness. It just makes things a lot easier.
No, but when things are easier, I am happier.
Well, yeah, and, if something comes up and, if you're the boss, you can go ahead and, if there's a funeral, you can go ahead and go to it. Or, if you need to buy that last-minute ticket, you make things easier.
That's exactly right.
So, I just think it makes things a lot easier. You don't have to worry about things. You don't have things hanging over your head, so you are happier.
Yeah, I think that's what it's all about. I mean, I'm just amazed how many people misconstrue and misunderstand this, or they lie to themselves. They believe that rich people aren't happier than they are. When I was poor, what made me miserable was being a slave.
Exactly.
I was a slave to the boss, a slave to the landlord, a slave to the stores that I was paying off stuff to. And I would buy an item, or I was a slave to the car loan.
Yep.
And now I'm not a slave to anybody anymore.
I just think the listeners are either coming in at a wrong time and they're just hearing that money is buying happiness. They're not understanding that it's just easier, makes things easier. So,
yeah, and that makes you happier.
Yeah, that's just the main point that people aren't understanding.
Or they don't choose to understand. I think that's more like it.
Tom Leykis.
1-800-5800-TOM.
How does a woman know when a guy's looking for more than just tail? Looking for more relationship?
Well,
what are the signs?
Sometimes he calls you before 11 p.m. That'll be one sign.
The Tom Leykis Show.
From Los Angeles, the Tom Leykis Show. At 1-800-5800-TOM. It's Adam. Hello?
Hello.
Yes.
I just have a little analyzing to do on the situation that's been going on. I wouldn't say that I necessarily disagree or agree. I would just say that in the beginning, when you don't have your life necessities met, of course, money will buy that happiness where you can make those decisions, water or heat. But then there's a certain point past that where it is more money, more problems. Once you have all your life necessities met, then money, in my opinion, doesn't really have, an issue past that.
But it does, because that peace of mind is with you every minute of every day.
Which one is that?
The peace of mind of not having to answer to a boss, not having to answer to a landlord, not having to answer to a bank, not having to answer to other people who crack the whip over you.
Okay. Which I do agree, and I would love to have that a lot. As well as, what about, certain people want companionship. I heard you said one time before that that's not you. You don't necessarily need that.
Well, I'm saying that what I am saying is look at the divorce rate. Companionship has no guarantees that come with it. There's no security in a relationship. None.
Sure. As a conflict to that, or as a comparison to that, neither does money have no guarantees of making you happy.
Well, actually, no, but what it does guarantee is your security. And to me, security is something that guarantees happiness, at least a certain level of it for the rest of your life.
It's right there. Okay. At least a certain level of it. Yeah, I mean, it will make
it's a pretty high level. I mean, you have to answer to everybody. And if you don't get out to work and bust your ass, you can't pay your rent. I do not have to worry about it. I can live in my house for the rest of my life.
Okay, so let me get a little serious. I don't want to, break the mood of it, but let's say you have all the money in the world and then you get paralyzed. I mean, I'm sure that then money wouldn't really have an issue because...
But it's still, even then it does, because if you become paralyzed, you're SOL. You can't get the best doctors. You can't have the best surgeons. You can't have the best medication. You can't go to the best hospitals. You may not even have the insurance to get taken care of. I do, and I always will.
Okay, well, basically what my statement was is that I don't think money can buy happiness, although it will enable me to achieve it better. It will give me more opportunity to achieve it. That's basically my analyze of the...
But again, you've never had money, so you don't understand this.
Well, actually, that's not really true.
You're rich?
I'm sorry?
You are rich?
No, I'm not rich, although I've had girlfriends who were rich. And
they were rich, but you weren't.
True.
You have never been rich, and you don't know what it's like.
Okay, point taken. That's all I'm saying, though, is that there's a medium between no money and tons of money, where in the middle...
The more you have, the more peace of mind you have.
The more you have, the more peace of mind you have.
Yes.
Well, wouldn't knowledge give you more than that?
No.
Basically, what you're telling me is that the more money you have, the more opportunity.
Do you know what college professors are very well read, very intelligent, but not very well paid. If they get sick, they have to go to the HMO. I don't.
Okay. Well, that's what I'm saying is that you have better opportunity to be happy.
If I get sick, I don't have to go to the emergency room.
I fully agree with what you're saying.
I have a doctor who's on call to me 24 hours a day. If I need a doctor, I call his cell phone, and he comes over. No waiting behind people with gunshots or people who've been run over by cars in the emergency room.
Okay.
You just don't understand the difference.
You're right. I don't have the point of view that you do.
And so, like most people who don't have money, you are deluding yourself into believing that people like me are way happier than people like you.
No, I'm not saying that. I agree that you're way happier than I am. I mean, you have less problems than I even have. I'm not saying that. I fully agree that, people with more money have less worries. When they say more money, more problems, that's because everybody wants your money because they want to be happy. I agree with what you're saying, but it's not 100% true. Just because you have money, you're happy. I think because
I didn't say just because you have money, you have happy. I said people with money are happier than people without.
Okay. All right. Okay. You're right. You didn't say that. You're right.
Do you understand?
I do agree with that. But basically what I was saying is before people were saying, yes, money buys happiness. Okay. That was just misquoted, I think.
But you said money can buy happiness, but there's no doubt that money buys happiness.
Yes. Okay.
There's no doubt. And now there's statistics that prove it.
Which statistics are that?
The ones I read at the beginning of the hour, if you were listening.
No, I wasn't listening.
Well, I'm not going to be repeating for people who were not here at the beginning. My suggestion, get here at the beginning.
Point taken.
Everyone else, the rest of the class already heard the statistics. I read them.
Okay, well, maybe I was asleep in the beginning of the class.
Maybe you can copy someone else's notes.
All right, thanks a lot, Tom.
Thank you. Robert, on the Tom Leykis show. Hello.
Professor, how you doing?
I'm okay.
Hey, dude, I got to agree with you 120%. I'm out here in Arizona, Phoenix. I make $12 an hour. I'm broke. I got a POS car. I haven't had insurance on it for about 10
POS, that's a Kia model, isn't it? The Kia POS?
Actually, it's a Saturn model. But tranny's about to go out and if my car breaks, I lose my job because that's my only way to work. I'm a cow. Like 98% of the people in this country, wake up at the same time with everyone else, drive to work, do my work, come home, go to bed, and it sucks, dude.
No.
I hate it.
Let me ask you this question here. You're 22. Did you go to college?
I took a couple semesters.
Yeah, it doesn't count. Why didn't you go? You're only 22.
Didn't have the money to go to college.
How about a community college?
Well, yeah, that's what I did. I took...
No, but I mean, how about you go to a community college, get some good grades, and then try to slide the last year or two into a major university?
I've been thinking about it for so long, and, you know, I don't know what I want to do still.
Don't matter. You know what? You'll be better off doing that than doing what you're doing, because you'll be a prisoner of this for the rest of your life if you don't do something.
Yeah, I can honestly say it ain't that fun. You know, college, you know, I went right out of high school and everything like that, and it just seemed like it wasn't for me at the time. But now I look back and I'm kicking myself in the butt for it.
Well, that's the thing. Is this for you?
Oh, no, definitely.
Making $12 an hour? Driving a piece of crap? Is that for you?
No, that's not for me at all.
So college is looking pretty good right about now.
It is.
So it's time to get that done.
Yeah, I've been trying to think of ways to make a lot of money legally, and it seems like that's the only solution I could think of.
Yeah, well, I think it's time that you don't just consider that seriously. It's time you go on down to the office, pick up a catalog, and start making your plan.
I agree.
All right, Robert.
All right. Blow me up, Tom.
I'll blow you up, baby. Here you go.
Hey, I'm Doug Ingold with this week's My Grammy Moment. Slipknot's 2006 Grammy win is more than just another music award. It's the culmination of some serious blood, sweat, and tears.
We worked really hard for a little over 2 years, and it just seems like absolutely the right thing.
Yeah, it's a really cool way to end this album cycle.
Feels great.
Slipknot, 2006 Best Metal Performance Grammy winners. Every Grammy tells a story. For more information, go to Grammy.com.
Tom Leykis.
1-800-5800-TOM.
1-800-5800-866.
The Tom Leykis Show.
It's the Tom Leykis Show. 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. Warren, hello.
Hello?
Yep.
Yeah, Tom?
Yes?
Is this Tom?
Did you want to talk to Tom?
Yes, please.
Oh, hold on, please. It's the Tom Leykis Show. 1-800-5800-TOM. This is Warren, the Tom Leykis Show.
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, hi, Tom. How you doing?
Great.
Hey, you know, I listen to your show all the time. All the time. I love your show. I like it. But you know what? This is the first time I got to disagree with what you just said about happiness. You know, I agree.
What specifically?
Pardon me?
What is it that I said that you disagree with?
Well, the guy came on a bit ago, and then you're tearing him down and calling him a pussy. You know,
he was a pussy for hanging up.
No, not for hanging up.
That's what I said.
What you said was money will buy you happiness. What the man said to you was, yeah, I can travel, I can do these things, I can live my own lifestyle. But you tell him, no, you're not happy because you've never had money. And the man said, well, you know what? When you hold a newborn baby in your arms, that's happiness. That's something you don't know nothing about. So how can you...
I don't have to know anything about it. The point is, it doesn't matter whether you have a baby or not. If you can't pay for that baby's education, if you can't afford to feed it, if you can't afford to clothe it, if you can't afford to house it, it doesn't matter how happy it makes you to have a baby. You're not going to be happy trying to take care of a baby if you can't afford to do that.
You're right. You're right about that. And I agree on the part, like you said, money does make you happy. You know what? I make a good living. I work full time. I make a good living. I don't feel that I go to work and I'm a slave to the man. You know what? I enjoy my job.
But you are a slave to the man.
Pardon me?
You are a slave to the man.
No, I'm not. I get up in the morning.
I'll tell you what. Why don't you just take a month off?
I could do that also. financially, I could do that also.
Take a year
I may
off.
not be sitting like you are.
Why don't you just retire?
Pardon me?
Why don't you just retire?
I'm 45 years old.
So what?
I can't retire right now.
Because you're a slave to the man.
I'm not a slave to the man.
Then quit.
My point is...
Just quit.
I agree with...
Stop coming into work.
I agree with what you're saying. Money does make it.
But you are enslaved. You have to go in tomorrow morning. You have to.
No, I don't have to go in tomorrow morning. I could take a week off. I could take a month off. Financially, I'm going to be okay. But my point is, not having money doesn't make you happy. Because it does. It makes me a lot happier to be able to retire now, like you said, be able to do the things that, I want to do, be able to call my own personal doctor and bring him in. That would make me a lot more comfortable. But my point here...
But you are a slave because I could, at the end of this sentence, I could quit my job and never come in here again. You have to be to work tomorrow morning. And that is the difference. Our email address is my name. It's Tom@blowmeuptom.com.
The Tom Leykis Show.